matter if these people are in your personal network, first, second, and third degree, or they're outside it. If they're in your group, you can communicate with them. And that's a really good thing, because you can start whole discussions. We've picked up clients from people who have, from some of the groups that we have participated in, or even from some of the writers from my newsletters, and the people who have given them my questions or other people's questions, and to whom I've started having conversations with. LinkedIn takes time. It takes time to build your network. It takes time to have communications. It can be, if done properly, it can be very worthwhile. Here we see what would be the first, second, and third level that I've alluded to a few times. The first level are people who I communicate with directly. So that might be someone who says, I want to be in your network. And at that point, if I say yes, or I say that to them and they say yes, what would happen is we now share that connection so we can talk to each other directly. The other thing is I also get their email address, which means that if I want to communicate them outside of LinkedIn, I can do that too. And that becomes very important. Second degree are people who are first degree connections to my first degree connections, or once removed from me. So if I want to speak to those second degree connections, I would have to go through my first degree connections first. The third degree are 2 steps away. So if I see someone in my third degree who I want to communicate with, I'd have to ask someone in my first degree, who would then ask someone in my second degree, who would then hopefully communicate the message to the third degree. Think of it as a pyramid, where your first degrees are kind of at the top, the second is at the middle, and the third degree, which all the people they know, is at the bottom, which is why I might have, in this case, 5,186 people as first-degree connections. But in actuality, I have almost 15 million people in my network. The most important level in this case are the first-degree connections. There we go. Twitter. A lot of people have questions about whether or not Twitter is useful or not. For marketing purposes, Twitter is very useful. You can really use it to get a flavor for what people are saying about some topic, about some company, about some products. And a lot of people will use it for real-time research. You can use it for networking. If you're an Oprah Winfrey, it's amazing because you can have, 3 million followers. It was very funny. I read an article about this woman who had 3 followers. She just started a Twitter account. And Conan O'Brien, who I think has about 1.5 million followers, picked her name out of a hat and told his followers, here's a person you might be interested in. And within 2 weeks, she had 30,000 followers. I'm not sure it's really worth very much, but just in terms of, having a lot of followers and so on, it's kind of neat that her network could grow that quickly. When we look at Twitter, it raises an interesting debate in social media in general, and that is the question of quality versus quantity. Because Twitter is so open to outside applications and so on, there's a lot of products out there that will allow you to very easily and very quickly increase the number of followers. So it's very easy to have 5 or 10 or even 20,000 followers. But the question is, that's quantity. The question is, what's the quality of that? If I say, hey everyone, here's a great new product, that you should all try, or here's a service. We have a new social media policy program